Hello folks, Everchanger here and welcome back to more Pokemon Blaze Black 2. Last time, we explored the entirety of the Clay Tunnel and we came out 4 legendary Pokemon richer. This time, we are going to be heading out to Route 16 again. But when I was here in Nimbaza City off-screen, I noticed something that's a little bit important. Right over here, we have the Battle Institute. Test your trainer skills. This building will open up after you have completed the Pokemon League. Basically what it is you can come here and test your Pokemon against more competitively oriented teams. I'm not going to be making use of this at all, but I might as well make a note that it's here. If you want more information about it, you can probably find it online because I don't think it's been changed from this hack at all from the original game. But anyway, now that I have discussed that, we are heading out onto Route 16. Now, on Route 16, I actually want to take a slight detour into Lost Lorn Forest real quick to see if I can get really lucky on a Pokemon that we are going to have to find there in a hidden grotto. So I'm going to go do that, and if we get lucky, I'll meet you there, but if not, I'll meet you right back on this route. Well, there's an item, a repel. Really not what I was looking for, but ah well. Unfortunately, not too lucky, but we're going to have to be back there at some point. Hopefully that Pokemon we need will show up sooner rather than later. Anyway, right here. Marvelous Bridge. Truly marvelous. And also a bridge. This is an area that we could not have explored prior to beating the Pokemon League. But now that we have completed the Pokemon League, this child will move out of the way, and we may enter a new bridge. This is the Marvelous Bridge. Like the Driftveil Drawbridge, there are Pokemon that can be found in shadows here, and indeed, there is a Pokemon found in a shadow that I would like to find on this bridge. Son, I have a deal for you, and you alone. Here's your chance. I will sell you the secret Pokemon Magikarp. No, we already own one. I don't think you can actually own one by this point in the game in the original, so I guess the hack has rendered this guy pretty moot. In fact, I believe in Black and White 1, this was the only way to get a Magikarp. But anyway, I would like to get some of that shadow to spawn because there is something of importance I want to catch here. And that is not it. I will jump cut to when I found it. Okay, here it is. Man, that took a long time. I get the impression that these dark shadows are heavily biased towards giving you items because this is only the 3rd encounter. Period. I've been here for like 10 minutes. Alright, let's try and catch Swanna here. It's the evolved form of Ducklet, and I think we caught that back on the Driftveil Drawbridge, so I guess you can see a bit of a pattern here. There we go, Swanna was caught. Very nice. Add that data to the Pokédex. Despite their elegant appearance, they can flap their wings strongly and fly for thousands of miles. Very nice. Now, normally I would say that is the only Pokemon I want to catch on this bridge. But it's actually not, and for that reason, I actually want to save real quick. Alrighty, now that we have saved, we are good to progress onwards. At the end of the bridge, we will encounter something very interesting indeed. Right around here, I think. Here? Here it is. The Lunar Wings started shining. Do you want to hold it up high? As you might recall, we found a Lunar Wing at the Strange House up near Reversal Mountain. We do indeed want to hold it up high. And with it, we will summon forth Cresselia, which is a legendary Pokemon from the Sinnoh region. This thing embodies the full moon. Really random place for it to show up, but I guess not really because the bridge is very curvy like this Pokemon. Alright, can we get lucky with a Quick Ball? I doubt it, but we'll have to see. 1. Ah, well. It was worth a shot, although after last episode, oh god, it has an HP recovery move. That is not going to be fun. Alright, I'm going to try and Thunderbolt it so we can at least get a paralysis off on it. I'm not entirely sure how much this is going to do. Oh, it actually didn't do all that much. We're probably good to use it one more time at least, and we can hope we can get a paralysis off. I'd really like to, because as you can see, a lot of these endgame legendaries are very high leveled, and wow, that actually put it in the red, which I wasn't expecting, but that's totally cool with me. Alright, unfortunately it is not nighttime when I am recording this, which means we have to resort to the Ultra Balls. Nice, Cresselia was caught. That was a decently tedious fight, but nothing too awful. On nights around the quarter moon, the aurora from its tail extends and undulates beautifully. Very nice. Now, since we have now caught Cresselia, there is actually something very special that happens back at the Strange House, where we obtained the Lunar Wing. So we're going to be taking a slight detour over there, instead of continuing across this bridge. Hope you'll understand, but I have a feeling a lot of people will feel it's very worth it to do this, so I will meet you guys right on over there. Alrighty, here we are in the back room of the Strange House, and here we have yet another legendary Pokemon. Now I'm gonna preface this by saying, this thing was here on our first visit, however, officially in the patch notes, this thing is only supposed to appear after defeating Cresselia. So if we had caught it back then, I'm pretty sure it would have respawned here, and we would have wound up with 2. And that just seems a little bit cheaty to me. That goes for pretty much every Pokemon that prematurely spawned into the world. But yeah, without further ado, let's confront it. This is Darkrai. Darkrai is basically the new moon Pokemon, which means it embodies no moon being in the sky. It's really interesting in that I believe this is the only legendary duo where the two Pokemon are explicitly said to be related, where one of them is an event Pokemon and one of them is not. Well, I don't know, unless you count Mewtwo and Mew, which I suppose a lot of people do. But anyway, let's catch it. Can we get lucky? I really hope we can. Darn it, that would have been so good. That would have been so good. Oh boy, it has Double Team. This is going to be really fun. As per usual, I'm basically going to be hitting it with Thunderbolt as much as I can safely do, just to see if we can get a paralysis off on it. Luckily though, I'm pretty sure the Strange House actually... Wow, that did a lot. Pretty sure the Strange House actually counts for Dusk Balls to work, so without further ado, let's catch this thing. Nice, Darkrai was caught, and I have to say that Dusk Ball is very fitting for this thing. To protect itself, it afflicts those around it with nightmares. However, it means no harm. I find that to be a really interesting detail about Darkrai that I think a lot of people miss if they haven't seen the 10th Pokemon movie. But anyway, now that we have done that, that is all I wanted to do here in the Strange House, so let's head back over to the Marvelous Bridge. And here we are back on the Marvelous Bridge after our a little bit shorter than last time catching session. Do you have anything for me? Ah, such magnificent scenery. Not too terribly much. Anyway, head right on in here, and this is actually the other side of the bridge already. Now, is there anything in this garbage? Unfortunately, there is not. Why do people buy from the vending machine? I've diligently checked this, and I learned something. The chance of getting an extra item is 3%. Interesting indeed. Do you have anything for me? I don't know if you do. I searched many other places besides Route 13, and Finally, I met my partner here. Very nice. And here we have Route 15, which is unique in that it is the only route that is a post-game route in both Black and White and Black and White 2, which I think is an interesting little detail. Oddly enough, there is nothing hidden back there, which is very strange. Now, in here, I believe this person wants to trade? Yes. Unfortunately for her, I already own Rotom and Ditto, which makes this trade completely useless for me. But, as you might expect, with a route comes trainers. Not too many. I think this route only has like 2 or 3 trainers, so we're not going to be here as long as some other routes where we've been, because this route is actually quite short. However, there are a couple of Pokemon I want to catch here, and we will be doing that this episode. Presuming all goes well, and considering how well it's gone so far, I'm not really too terribly nervous about it, which is good. And we get a Quick Claw against an Arcanine, but it doesn't matter because it has Extreme Speed, which is a little awkward, but that doesn't do like any damage to me at all, so it doesn't really matter. And, okay, now we get the Paralysis. I never got the Paralysis against Cresselia or Darkrai, so I don't know what's up with that game. Also, I don't think I've gotten a critical capture against a single legendary Pokemon yet. I'd really like that to happen at some point because it's really, really nice when they happen. Like, there's no other way I can put it. It's really nice when it happens. I mean, they usually don't work out, but when they do, it's quite awesome. Alrighty, we got Houndoom right here. Gonna Brick Break it into the next decade, I think. Alright, if this doesn't KO, I'll be surprised. Very nice. Down it goes. Get a little more experience for Lucario, and up next we have Stoutland. Gonna keep in right here, because Stoutland actually gives quite a bit of experience, if I remember correctly. My attack is lowered, which means Aura Sphere is probably the better choice here, especially since I'm pretty sure this Pokemon has higher physical defense. Let's see if I'm right about that. Presumably I am, because we just one-shot it with Aura Sphere. Very good. Lots of experience. We're almost to level 80 on Lucario, which is awesome. Alrighty. Now I'm going to go up first, mainly because there is an interesting little attraction here. The Poke Transfer Lab. What's Poke Transfer? Come find out. Now, is this a trainer? Yep. Well, we'll just fight her first. I think she's one of the very few, I think she's actually probably the only scientist on this route. Although it doesn't really matter, because I feel like especially in these difficulty hacks, trainer class isn't usually as indicative of what you're going to be fighting. And we have an X-Defend right off the bat, which does nothing because Thunderbolt is a special move. Alright, how much is that going to do? Alright, one more Thunderbolt and we should be good. Down goes Swalot, and whenever I see Swalot, I can never not think of that minigame in Platinum, Heart Gold, and Soul Silver in the Wi-Fi room. Unfortunately, you can't play that anymore, which I find to be really sad because I actually had a lot of fun playing that minigame. It was a really dumb game, but it was the kind of fun that's just dumb fun. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Anyway, we're gonna Brick Break this thing as well. I think that'll bring down Porygon Z in one hit, I think. Yeah, there we go. Is this gonna give us level 80? Oh yeah. Lucario gets to level 80. Very good. And last up is Magnezone. I think we'll stay in with Lucario again, just because might as well keep going on with what works. And I think Brick Break in particular works just fine. There we go. Alrighty, that's going to give us another 5 grand experience. Awesome. Now, if we head inside the lab, we're going to be greeted with a feature that is completely useless to us, because there is no wireless communication in ROM hacks. Hi, hello, you came here, that means you are a visitor. Huh? No? You came all the way here? Are you a trainer? Are you in the middle of your journey? Ah, this is your trainer card. Whoa, what? You have all the gym badges? Great, you may be able to... Actually, no. Basically, what's going to happen right here is they are going to explain how to transfer Pokemon from Generation 4 games to Generation 5 games. I'm basically skipping through all of this text because there is absolutely no way whatsoever I can make use of any of this text, or any of these features, or anything like that, because we are playing on an emulator and we cannot do any sort of transferring, especially since I haven't done any Generation 4 Pokemon LPs that I could even possibly try and follow up on this anyway, so yeah. Basically, they're just going to go through and explain exactly how Poketransfer works. They're going to ask me if I want to try the experiment. I'm going to say no because it is physically impossible. But yeah, there is a PC here, which is pretty neat, but yeah, that's pretty much all there is for us here. But now that we have done that, we can head back out onto Route 15. I'm going to bring up the dowsing machine again because I think it's picking up some stuff, which is really cool. And this is either the last or second last trainer on this route. I don't remember if there's 3 or 4 trainers on this route, but it's not a lot, not at all. Alrighty, so we have a Pokefan right here. Out first is Persian. Very nice. I don't think we're going to be seeing any new Pokemon for a while because our scene number is at 611, meaning there are only 38 more Pokemon for us to get. And of those, 34 of them are legendary, something like that. Some sort of nice number. But yeah, so it's going to be quite a while before we see any new Pokemon that aren't legendary, because there's probably like maybe 1 or 2 Pokemon total that are not legendary that we have yet to see. But yeah, and of course they get the paralysis off on me, which is great. You know what, I'm just going to switch over to Lucario because I'm pretty sure Lucario could take this thing out no problem. Alrighty. Luckily they didn't try and call my bluff and body slam again because that would have been incredibly disappointing. Alrighty, so let's brick break this thing. And after that we should have 1 more Pokemon on their team, I think. Which I think we can definitely work with. Alright, not a lot of experience for that. Ooh yeah, Liepard. This thing is not going to have a fun time going up against my Lucario. Alrighty. So, I guess while we're in this fight, I can mention that there are 2 Pokemon that I want to catch on this route. Only 2. That's not so bad, right? Well, they're both in the Shaking Grass, and we all know how much I love catching Pokemon in the Shaking Grass. And when I say that, I really mean I hate catching Pokemon in the Shaking Grass because it's so tedious. Anyway, right down here, we have a Strength Boulder, which means we can push it right on down here and then come around that way, and that way. And right here, I think we have a TM? Yeah, TM20 Safeguard. I'm pretty sure this was Earthquake in the original game. Not positive on that, but if I had to guess, I'd say that's probably what it was. Anyway, since we're catching Pokemon in the Shaking Grass, I don't think there's any harm in using a Repel right here, so I'm going to do that real quick. Alrighty, there we go. So let's bring up the dowsing machine once again. Is there anything down here? Aha, there is 1 more trainer. Alrighty, what do you have? I've got lots of vitamins in my backpack. I don't think those items are going to help you, especially since the AI tends to never use items. It's very rare when that happens, and it's funny I say that because I'm pretty sure that happened earlier in this very video on this very route, so maybe I don't actually know what I'm talking about. Anyway, Magnezone is a really bad Pokemon to open up this fight with, especially given it's paralyzed, so we are going to switch over to Gastrodon, which I think is probably going to wall this thing like a champ, considering it is part water type. That actually did a decent amount more than I was expecting, but no big deal because we can just hit it with a Surf. Once we hit it with a Surf, it's probably going to go down because it's quad weak to water. Yeah. And a critical for good measure. Alrighty, up next is Poliwhirl, which is awkward because Gastrodon I mean, Magnezone is probably a perfect fit to fight this thing. And nuts to it, we can do it. I mean, it's only a Poliwhirl, right? How bad could it possibly be? I say that, but it's probably going to manage to one-shot me somehow or another. Alright, it's using Hydro Pump, which is going to hurt a bit, but I don't think it'll take me quite low, and of course we're paralyzed. I feel like it's paralyzed, it can't move, goes off a lot more often than it realistically should. Especially in this game, like, you see that? 2 in a row. I don't know what the percentage is, but I feel like 2 in a row is kind of ridiculous, and it actually knows a fighting type move, which I find quite amusing, actually, considering what I was saying earlier. So yeah, that was a little close for comfort, but we managed to take it down. And up last is Raichu. I think I want to send out Lucario for this one, just to dish it full of an Earthquake. Because, let's be honest, Earthquake is probably one of the most satisfying moves to unleash upon your enemies in this game. Like, just look at it. Boom. Alright, Raichu. You are done. Awesome. Alright, you get quite a bit of experience, almost to level 81 already, which is very nice. And is there anything hidden this way? There actually is. We want to push this rock 3 that way, and then up, and back, because up here there is actually a hidden item. An Ultra Ball, which will replace one of the many I used against Cresselia early on in this video. And right around here... Wait, there's actually 5 trainers? Wow, is there anything up here? There is. There's a Max Potion. That is a good item. Alrighty, and now that we've gotten that, I guess might as well just fight this last trainer. That's weird. I thought there were only 3 trainers on this route, but I guess there's actually 5, which I'm not complaining about necessarily, but it is a little bit more than I was counting on, so this episode might be a little bit long, although not nearly as long as the last episode if we're lucky. Last episode was mainly long because we caught double the legendaries and fought double the trainers. So yeah, there's probably going to be some episodes like that where I just want to get a ton of stuff done and they wind up being long. But that's just the way things are going to be, and I really just noticed Shiftry's hair animation. I don't know why, but I'm really liking this animation on the hair. I don't know what it is, but it looks nice. Anyway, we're probably not going to see it for long because that Flare Blitz is not going to be kind to Shiftry. Yeah, there we go. Alright, what's the recoil on that looking like? Quite a bit, actually. Alright, next up is Toxicroak, which is a perfect matchup for Victini because it is quad weak to Psychic. Yeah. It's always fun playing the weakness game to your advantage in Pokemon. It's always so satisfying when you deal tons of super effective hits. And last up is Cacturne, and I think we'll keep Victini in for this because Victini is actually pretty low leveled compared to the rest of the team. It's, I say, only level 78. 78 is respectable, but for what we're going to be facing coming up, we're going to want to be a little bit stronger than 78. Alrighty. And that should hopefully be the last trainer on the route. Is there anything up this way? Nope, this just loops back around to this guy. Alrighty, so let's just head right on down here and grab an HP up, which is a very nice item. Now, that is all of the exploring I want to do on this route, which means we are going to be moving on to catching those shaking grass Pokemon. Oh boy, I am not looking forward to this, but at least there's only 2 of them, so hopefully we will get lucky. Alrighty, first up on the chopping block is Snorlax, and oh boy, that took a while, and this isn't even the second one, this is the first one. But anyway, everyone is familiar with Snorlax. I don't know a single person who isn't, so let's just catch this thing. And there we go, Snorlax was caught. This thing actually had quite a few very strong moves, so I'm glad it came decently quickly. When its belly is full, it becomes too lethargic to even lift a finger, so it is safe to bounce on its belly. I don't know about you guys, but I'm gonna let it rot in my PC for all of eternity. Alrighty. One more left. Hopefully we will get it to show up sooner rather than later. Oh my god, Tyranitar finally graces us with its presence. My god. That was probably a good hour after the encounter with Snorlax. I'm not even kidding. Luckily though, like Snorlax, Tyranitar needs no introduction, so we're just gonna catch this blasted thing. Alrighty, Tyranitar was caught. Funny thing, that was the second ball I threw. The first ball I threw was a quick ball. A critical capture. It failed. Just another kick in the teeth on this thing. The quakes caused when it walks make even the great mountains crumble and change the surrounding terrain. I'll be honest, I really like Tyranitar, I really do, but I'm gonna need a little bit of time to warm up to it after how freaking long it took for it to show up this time. But anyway, that is actually everything I wanted to do on this route, and everything I wanted to do in the episode, except for one little thing. Right through this gate is Black City. If you're playing Volt White 2, through this gate will instead be White Forest. Now normally, even though I don't want to do the main attraction of this area, I would go around and get any free items we can get or stuff like that. There is actually absolutely nothing in this city aside from the main attraction, which I do not want to go into right now, because we would get absolutely slaughtered were we to attempt it, and in fact I don't think we can even attempt it yet, because there is something we have to do elsewhere before we can actually try it out. So basically I'm just showing Black City right here just to show that it exists, because other than that, there is absolutely nothing for us to do here right now. But yeah, I think that will do it for this episode. So, this past episode of Pokemon Blaze Black 2, we captured Cresselia and Darkrai along with a few other Pokemon, and we explored a little more of the Unova region. And next time on Pokemon Blaze Black 2, we are going to be rematching a certain set of 8 visitors from a faraway region. So without further ado, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Oh, and one more thing. During the recording of this episode, we officially hit 100 hours of playtime. So yeah, hands in the air for that.